C++ provides two standard methods to check if the memory allocation was successful or not. By handling exceptions. And by nothrow object. Number 1. Checking success of memory allocation by handling exceptions. Exceptions are mechanisms that help us detect and handle exceptional circumstances in a program. When memory allocation fails with the new operator, by default, an exception of type bad alloc is thrown or generated, which terminates a program. In the expression age equals new int of 5, if memory allocation fails, an exception is thrown by default. Number 2. Checking success of memory allocation by nothrow object. Nothrow object is passed as a parameter along with the new operator. When memory allocation fails, instead of throwing a bad alloc exception or terminating the program, a null pointer is returned by the new operator, and program continues execution. In the expression age equals new nothrow int of 5. If memory allocation fails, the pointer age is assigned null value or 0. Here is an example where we find out if a nothrow has been executed. The if statement checks value of pointer age. If age equals 0, then allocation of memory block has failed. Next, let's look at the second operator used in dynamic memory allocation. The delete and delete array operators. In most programs, dynamic memory is usually used for a very limited period of time, and then is no longer needed. Once not needed, the memory must be freed, so that it becomes available for other tasks. The delete pointer is used to deallocate memory. Syntax is delete pointer. It deletes the memory allocated for a single element. The delete square brackets pointer. It deletes the memory allocated for an array or sequence of elements. Program 32. Enter n integers by dynamic memory allocation. Check successful allocation and deallocation of memory. Here is the program code. On execution, the user is prompted how many numbers they would like to enter. Suppose the user types in -3. Since -3 memory blocks cannot be allocated, an error can occur. And so, as per line 10 of program code, an exception is thrown, and the value 0 is assigned to variable p. On line 10, also note that we have used the nothrow object, and hence program execution doesn't stop when an exception is generated. Since p is 0, line 12 is executed, and error message printed on output screen. The program control then shifts to next line after the if block, which is line 25. Since memory has not been allocated, no memory needs to be deallocated, and nothing is printed on screen. Next, let's see another use case. We are asked how many numbers to enter. Let's enter 3. We then enter the 3 numbers, and they get stored in allocated memory, pointed by p, as per the for loop on line 15. We then print the entered numbers by accessing it from the array, pointed by p. We then deallocate the array space by delete operator, as on line 23. Next we print values within array. Since after deallocation of the memory, the array is empty, some random numbers are printed at locations that p points to. We will next learn about strings. A string is an array of characters, or the char data type. There are specific functions that can be used for strings, like adding to strings, finding the length of strings, checking if strings match, etc. Hello, within double quotes, is a string. Hello, good morning, is also a string. A one-dimensional array of characters, terminated by the null value, \0, is also a string. For example, char, name, open close square brackets, equal to, within braces, within single quotes, p-a-r-i-s, \0. It's also an example of the string. A string not terminated by a \0 is not really a string, but merely a collection of characters. C++ provides a shortcut for initializing the string. For example, char name, open close square brackets, equal to, within double quotes Paris. In the above declaration, \0 is not necessary. C++ inserts the null character automatically. In this declaration, m is declared as a character because capital A is assigned to m within single quotes. In this next declaration, n is declared as a string because capital A is assigned to n within double quotes. The declaration, char asterisk of arr, can also be used as a string. We then use it by declaring arr equals new char of 256. The cin object inputs a string of characters until it reads the first space character. The best way to extract a string with space is to use the function cin.getLine function. Example 1. cin.getLine of a 50. It accepts up to 50 characters into the character array a and terminates by default with the enter key or \n character. In example 2 we have cin.getLine of a 50 \t. It accepts up to 50 characters into the character array a and terminates with the entry of tab key or the \t character.